Hey, it's Todd, and I'm back with another update for you with our look over my shoulder funnel. And so, in the previous update, I showed you the research that I did. I explained the process that I went through for getting a better understanding of the niche, of the subculture, really learning more about what these women want, what their concerns are, and so on. And so, in this video update, I very quickly want to show you what I then did with that research. And what we're going to focus on is I'm going to show you and I'm going to walk you through a separate document where I took that research and began to lay out the different products that are going to make up the funnel. And I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to show you what this ultimately became. This is what it started with. So this is the customer captivation offer. This is the reverse add-on, the soft add-on, the mid-tier, the thank you page gift offer, and then the webinar offer. And this is ultimately where we are going to lead, right? This is, the consulting, if you will. We're going to be calling it coaching, but this is where it began. And so what I want to do for you is I want to break these down. I want to break each one of these down. I want to show you how I named them, how I actually fleshed this out, chose the deliverables, and set up the different add-ons and why I chose what I chose. And so let me take this document over here. And let's just start from the top. Let's start from the customer captivation offer. And so what I found from the research was that one of the big hot buttons, one of the big in-demand questions that fitness competitors or would-be fitness competitors have is what type of diet plan, what type of program should they follow? And so I wanted to start off by being able to address that, knowing that that was one of the big, if not the biggest hot button, the biggest issue for fitness competitors. I wanted to start there. And my mindset was that this would give me the ability on the traffic captivation page and then the initial offer to tap into something that's not only at the forefront of their mind, right? Something that is extremely important to them, obviously, based on their searches. In other words, it's a hot topic, but it's also kind of a piece to the overall puzzle of them getting ready for competition, meaning that it's a great entry point, it's a great front end product because it's a great place to start to lead somebody to coaching, or consulting, right? In other words, coaching and consulting is all about giving them everything that they need to successfully compete in their first contest. It's about giving them everything they need to know as it relates to not only diet, actual food, but supplementation, as well as workout, rest, recovery, injury prevention, the actual performance at the contest, their routine, their swimsuit, mindset stuff, right? All the stuff that we can cover during an extensive coaching, consulting program, if you will. And so by starting with one piece of that, it ensures that I'm able to kind of build off of that, ultimately leading up to, look, if you want to learn more about nutrition, it's obvious you're getting ready for a show, right? A competition. Therefore, there's all these other things that you need to know. And so a great starting point. Now, the key with this, and this was probably the area that I spent the most amount of time on, and that was this right here. And so what I'm going to show you is I want to explain to you how I came up with this name. And so this is kind of a name as well as a tagline, if you will, if we call it that. And so what I came up with was the 8-week metabolic stimulation system for fitness competitors, the secret 60-day nutritional program that cranks up calorie burn so your body sheds fat fast for competition. Now, a couple things that I want you to understand. So, number one, right, there's so much information out there already that is free as it relates to diet plans for fitness competitors. And so I didn't want to use the simple phrase diet plan even though that's what they are actively looking for, right? Like if they're searching or talking about it on forums or asking questions about it, their verbiage is diet plan, right? A fitness competition diet plan. And if you look back at video, the update number 1, you'll see that that was one of the main keywords or keyword phrases, if you will. And so because first and foremost, like I said, because they're actively looking for that, that's one of the main reasons why I started with this. But the other thing was that diet plan, diet program, that kind of phraseology is first and foremost very generic, and it's used all over the place. And so if I were to offer a diet plan, then what it would allow is it would allow prospects to do an apples to apples comparison. It would allow them to say, well, there's a diet plan here that I have to pay for, or I can go over there and get a diet plan for free, or I can read, Muscle and Fitness, or I can read Flex magazine, or I can read one of these, other magazines to get a free diet plan. And so I didn't want to use the phrase diet plan because I didn't want to allow for that apples to apples comparison. As well, I didn't want to automatically get grouped into the whole category of diet plans, right? I talk to clients often about this idea that what you choose to name your product or service, or how you choose to refer to your product or service when you explain what it is, will put your product or service into a category in the mind of prospects. And so you want to be careful that you're not allowing your product or service to get categorized in a particular category that is loaded with competition, right? And so let me give you an example of that. So years ago, when I started the company that worked with chiropractors, and we were providing a done-for-them online marketing system, which was a website that consisted of all their lead generation systems and follow-up and so on. Well, I didn't want to simply call it a website, right? I didn't want to say we're offering a chiropractic website with marketing, built off of it, because that would mean that we would then fall under the category of chiropractic websites, and we would be competing with everybody else, every other company that was selling chiropractic websites. And so what I did instead was I named it, I forget, something like Automated Multimedia Chiropractic Marketing Technology, right? So we were the only one at that time selling automated online chiropractic marketing technology. If you wanted a simple website, then you would go and you would look for a website and choose a website. But we weren't selling simple websites. And so what that did was it prevented the apples to apples comparison, and therefore it prevented prospects from assuming that our price point was going to be the same as this other price, the other competitors' price points, because we were different. They were selling websites, we were selling automated, multimedia chiropractic marketing technology, and it was because of that we just kicked some serious butt. And so that's why over here I chose to name it, this metabolic stimulation system. And I called it a 60-day nutritional program instead of diet plan or nutritional plan, because I wanted to give it the feel of different, of unique. Like, look, if you want to follow a diet plan, go and follow a diet plan. This is an 8-week metabolic stimulation system. And so even though, that's, the reality is, as a marketer, it's a made-up term, right? It's something that I invented, that we as marketers create in terms of how we name things, right? And so this is, again, the 8-week metabolic stimulation system for fitness competitors. Now, I wanted to make sure that I said for fitness competitors right away so that prospects know that this is for them. This is not just a meal plan, a diet plan. This isn't something for athletes, just general. It's not something for bodybuilders. This is like specific for them. Remember, people will pay more for products and services that are specialized, right? It's why when if you could go to a general attorney, or you could go to an intellectual property attorney. If you're looking to file a patent, you're going to pay more the more specialized they are. But people in general associate higher value with specialists, right? And so it's why cardiologists get paid more than general family doctors. It's why oral surgeons get paid more than general family dentists. It's why the Mercedes-Benz mechanic gets paid more than the Goodyear mechanic. And so the 8-week metabolic stimulation system for fitness competitors, the secret 60-day nutritional program that cranks up calorie burn so your body sheds fat fast for competition. So a couple things going on here. Number one, the secret 60-day nutritional program, right? So obviously using the word secret just gives it a little more mystery, a little bit more intrigue. We've got nutritional program, kind of, I played around for a while with the 60-day nutritional system, but I wanted to use a different word rather than be redundant. But again, I didn't want to use plan or diet plan, and that's why it came up with nutrition. I came up with nutritional program. Then you could see over here, I want you to look at the way this second part is phrased. And so this is something that I talk about and usually teach to my higher level coaching students, and it's this idea of the way this is worded specifically right here is what is referred to as pluralizing the verb. Pluralizing the verb is what it does is it conveys to the prospect that the work is done by the mechanism, by the system. So you see how it says the secret 60-day nutritional program that cranks up, it cranks up. It doesn't allow you to crank up calorie burn. It cranks up calorie burn. And so when you pluralize the verb, it subconsciously tells the prospect or conveys to the prospect that the work, the benefit, the outcome is being delivered by the mechanism, not them, right? Like there's a difference between saying to somebody, generate an extra $1,000 a week and saying to them that it generates an extra $1,000 a week. When you say to somebody, generate $1,000 a week, what that means to a prospect or what that conveys on a subconscious level is, well, there's work that I need to do, right? I need to generate. Well, there's work involved in me generating. Right? Like, it's one thing to say to somebody, use this system and generate $1,000 extra a week, right? It's very different from saying, use this system that generates $1,000 a week. Even though it's a slight difference, it has a tremendous impact on prospects because it conveys to prospect that the work is done by the system. And so that's why I said cranks up calorie burn. The other thing is that I phrased it this way. It's kind of almost grammatically, I don't know if it's really correct by saying, it cranks up calorie burn. We might say, grammatically it might be better to say it cranks up the burning of calories. But the way it's said here, it almost has the mystique. And this is more, just for your understanding for right now. This might get tweaked tweaked or changed slightly as we go, but I want you to understand right now where I'm at with this is that they would get a training video on the entire metabolic stimulation system. They'd get the audio version, so all we would do is take the video and extract out the audio. They would get a manual. And the manual would most likely just be a transcript from the video, right, or from the audio, same thing. So I want you to look like, even if we were just recording this, if we were doing this, right, all we would be doing is recording one video, then extracting out the audio from that video, then turning over the audio to have it transcribed, and now we've got these three main components. They would also get a cheat sheet that kind of breaks down the 8-week metabolic stimulation system, right, or the 60-day nutritional program. And then they'd get a calendar, which kind of takes the cheat sheet and lays out what it is that they need to do. And they would get all of this for just $29, right? And so I haven't worked out yet the guarantee. That's going to come later on when we're actually crafting this offer and whatnot. But for now, this is what the customer captivation offer will be. Now, the reverse add-on is what I'm calling the complete MSS toolkit, right? The complete metabolic stimulation system toolkit. And so what this comes with is the metabolic stimulation system 8-week recipe guide. And so this is basically, in my mind, 8 weeks of recipes for the different meals that make up the 60-day nutritional program. It'll be, they'll also get the 8-week shopping list collection so that they know exactly what to buy to be able to use these recipes. And then they also get the competition prep supplement guide. And so it's the metabolic stimulation system competition prep supplement guide. What vitamin supplements, powders they should be using throughout the 8 weeks and how. And so now the thing that I want you to see here is that this add-on is not only completely congruent with this customer captivation offer, but it makes it easier. Right? And so now they don't have to think, right? They've got the system, they'll understand the system, why it works, what it does, what you have to do, and so on. But rather than trying to figure out meals on your own and whatnot, you can just get the entire thing laid out for you. So you get exactly what to buy at the food store each week for the 8 weeks. You can get the recipe guide that shows you what meals that you can make, for all your different meals, and what supplements go with the different stages throughout the 8-week metabolic stimulation system. And so this is just $19. Now I want you to think about this. Look at the value, right? It's congruent, it's easy. It's making it easier for them. They've spent $29 on this. Think about the percentage of people that are going to take advantage of this additional, this total toolkit. And I don't know, this may, we may change this a little bit. It might be the complete simplification toolkit or something like that, or, the easy implementation, the easy MSS implementation toolkit, something like that, just to, again, really focus on the fact that this is all about ease of using this metabolic stimulation system over there. Then we've got the add-on, and the soft add-on is what I'm calling, for right now, the perfect competition day package. What to do the last 72 hours before your competition to ensure your body peaks for the stage. And so what this is about is, in my mind, I envision being able to talk to a fitness competitor about, like, look, there are women, men, competitors, fitness competitors that will diet a full 2 months, get ready for competition, and then because of something they've either done or haven't done during the last 72 hours, they don't peak on stage, right? Maybe they're holding water, maybe they don't manipulate their sodium or potassium or fluid enough, maybe they don't consume enough carbohydrate to really, fill out their muscle, right? They don't carb load, whatever it is, and they ruin 60 days of dieting simply because they didn't really ensure they didn't take the right actions during those last 72 hours. So this is kind of like this is ensuring that those last 72 hours that you peak for the stage. Now, look, this is the customer captivation offer is, right, how to burn fat, right? How to use a specific process. This is the mechanism over here, the metabolic stimulation system. That's the unique mechanism, right? And that's going to help them burn fat for their competition, right? This is going to make the whole process of implementing that easier. And then this is going to ensure that they reap the full benefits of this whole process with the last 72 hours. And this program would be, it would be a video, the audio version, and a checklist of exactly what to do in the last 72 hours with those key areas like sodium and potassium manipulation, fluid manipulation, excuse me, and carbohydrate loading or carbohydrate manipulation. And so that's what this would be. Now, the cool thing is that, remember, the soft add-on is they're not paying anything additional today. The price would be $67, but only after they go through this, right? So only after they go through this. And so that is the soft add-on. Now, the mid-tier add-on, I'm going to take a right turn, and what I'm going to offer is an information product on how to get paid for your competition day body with easy-to-land professional fitness modeling gigs. And so what this offer would be about is basically, I want you to think they'll come, they'll take this, then they'll go to the add-on, the reverse add-on, take this, then they'll come here, right? And so just think about the progress of the message. So this is how to burn fat, for your competition so that you get a, crazy lean body come competition day. Here's everything you need to make this process brain dead simple. Here's how to make sure that you reap the full rewards from this by peaking for the stage, by understanding what to do in the last 72 hours. Here's what to do after your competition, right? After you use these things to get in great shape, look phenomenal, so that you can get paid, right? So that you can make money for your body, for all of your hard work. Now, there's a couple different things at play here psychologically. Number one, it is right, how to get paid for your competition body. So, of course, there is this benefit of getting paid, right? Like, and there is an ego thing, like, an ego thing with what woman who just competed wouldn't love the idea of being able to tell their friends that they got modeling gigs, that they're modeling now, and so this is an opportunity to make money and to earn back all the money that they might have invested or they need to invest in order to compete, as well as an ego thing here, right? Like an emotional level thing, and so over here, it conveys that there's no additional work, right? I'm saying how to get paid for your competition day body. Like, the reality is that they're already going to be in shape, right? And so in my mind, I envision, when it comes to crafting this message, being able to say to them, like, look, you're going to get in great shape. You're going to look phenomenal. You're going to compete. Now, why not get paid for it, right? Why not make money and be able to, experience the thrill of being a model and having a professional photographer take pictures of you and having those pictures used and being able to share that with your friends, all without doing any additional work, and with some easy to land professional fitness modeling gigs. The other thing is a couple things here, right? Easy to land, because I don't want them to think that there's a lengthy process that they have to go through. I wrote professional because I didn't want them to think sleazy, right? I didn't want to just say with easy to land fitness modeling gigs, because maybe, who knows, they could have some fears of that. And gigs, just to use kind of like almost like a quote-unquote insider's term, right? Like what the other fitness models refer to them as. And so this would be, some kind of video training with audio, transcript, cheat sheets, and it would be about $299. And then the thank you page gift offer would be a monthly membership. I haven't decided exactly what this is going to consist of in terms of deliverables, but I'm leaning towards calling it the cutting edge fitness competitor club, right? And so it might be, in my mind, the initial thought was doing interviews with other fitness competitors and sharing other routines from fitness competitors and keeping fitness competitors up on competitions as well as new resources and tools that they can use, inspiration, letting them interact with one another, share pictures, and have a community of just fitness competitors with valuable information. Having that be about $19, might be a little bit less, might be $14, and that's just based on this niche. And then finally, the webinar offer, which is kind of, which is, I'd really, at the end, there's a couple different things that I'm leaning towards. Number one is we're gonna steer everybody that buys, every customer, once they buy the customer captivation offer, as you know, we're gonna steer them to attend an evergreen webinar, and it's during that evergreen webinar that ultimately at the end we're going to present the 8-week pre-contest coaching package, and this is basically this is where they would get one-on-one coaching for 8 weeks. Once a week, there would be some kind of one-on-one coaching session, maybe on Skype. There would be what I'm calling 3 weekly, I don't know if physique is the right word, will probably change, but 3 weekly video critiques. So the last 3 weeks leading up to the contest, they'll be able to send in a video where it would get critiqued, and they would get feedback on what things need to change. And this would go through everything from, from nutrition, workout, right? Because if you look, there's nothing, we didn't talk anywhere about workout in here. And so that would be saved, right? Which is a biggie. That would be saved for this. And so there's two things. We're certainly going to make this offer at the end of the webinar. And I'm not sure yet if we would actually make the offer at the end of the soft add-on. Like typically what we do is at the end of the soft add-on, we would make also a higher ticket offer. And so I'm leaning towards that it would also be for the coaching package. But I'll have more info on that for you later on in another update. And so that's where I'm at with this, and I hope that gives you some insight into why I chose to do what I chose to do. In the next update video, what you'll see is, or the next step for me is, we're going to now start building out the traffic captivation page, and start building out the messaging, the hook, and whatnot for the traffic captivation page, for the customer captivation offer. And it's really right here, right? Like this really is going to be, this is the foundation of what the hook is going to be. And so, so I'll talk to you in the next update.